Hello, in this video I'm going to show you how to do a chi-square goodness of fit test in Statcrunch using a full data set. And the example I'm going to use here is some poll data from a poll taken in 2015 about people's Thanksgiving practices. This was done on the Statcrunch website, so it may not be the most scientific poll, but it gives us some data. One of the questions they asked was how people would characterize their the place where they live, suburban, rural, or urban. We might want to test whether the people who responded to this poll were equally distributed between urban, rural, and suburban places of living. So that would be a chi-squared goodness of fit test. And the first thing we need to do is actually make a table of the results. So we would do summary stats, not summary stats. We would do tables, and we would make a frequency table for the variable that we're interested in. So we have to find that variable that's about whether you're urban, suburban, or rural. How would you describe where you live? And we just want to make a table that shows the frequency and relative frequency of that. So just compute and just shows that 216 were rural, 496 suburban, and 236 urban. So it looks like there's not an equal mix there, but if we wanted to test, is there 1/3 in each of those three categories? Are they equally represented? We could do a chi-squared goodness of fit test. To do that, we need to start with not the raw data that we originally started with, but this frequency table. And so we want to actually copy the entire table. So I'm just going to highlight it all and then use a keyboard shortcut to copy. And then I want to make a new data set. So I'm going to go to data, then load from paste. And I'm going to paste the thing I just copied into this box and then scroll all the way down to the bottom and say load data. Now I have a tiny data set that just gives the number in each category instead of giving the entire data set. So now I can go to stat, goodness of fit, chi-square test, and I can select the frequency column. And here I want to test whether there's 1/3 of the observations in each of the three categories. So I'm going to do expected is all cells in equal proportion. But if I had a different proportion expected in each of the three categories, then I would have used this first option and I would have made another column in my data set showing what the expected frequencies were. Here I'm picking all cells in equal proportion, and all I have to do is click compute, and I get chi-squared goodness of fit test results. The p-value of the test is very, very small, so we can reject the null hypothesis that the respondents to the survey were equally from each of the three urban types, and it looks like there were actually more of them from suburban.